Hello, I'm Katie Wickstrom, and I am lucky enough to have had a great uncle, Winston Johnson. Uh, Winston was a missionary child in China, and then he went on to be an organist. He served at University Presbyterian Church for over 25 years. He has a wonderful wife, Irma. Um, Winston passed away a few years ago, and he's known and loved by
Hi,
many.
Susan. Thank you for joining us today. So I was wondering if you could tell me about a senior that has inspired you in your life.
Yes, very much so. It's my father. And I came back, I was living abroad. I came back about 8 years ago to be his caregiver. And you know, when you're an adult, you think you know it all, and your parents they've raised you and everything's done. But I realized being his caregiver that he still teaches me, and so that I've learned so much from being his caregiver.
Anything specific that you feel comfortable sharing with us?
Yeah, one of the things that has been really important to me is when he retired, he became very involved in, like he went to the prison to visit prisoners. He was involved as a probation officer. He got involved with Tent City and helped deliver meals. And so he really taught me about service and about making connections to people, that it's not all about, you know, your job, your career and everything. So I think I really learned about service to my community.
That's great. Well, it's nice that you can find inspiration and really a new way to look at your relationship through this change of roles.
That's another thing is as I've aged, and you know, I'm middle aged now, I've been able to really make a deeper relationship with my father, because it's not that youthful, you know, I want to be independent and away from my parents. So it's definitely deepened, very much so.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Well, the person that I'm thinking of that I really admire who's aging well is someone who, even though she's starting to lose some of her ability to, be functionally independent, where she can't quite get out on her own and do things on her own physically, but mentally, she has so many interests in all kinds of different things, and she's continued to keep those interests going and keep engaged in life, and she's interested in people. And I always admired that, because I thought no matter what happens to you during your life, things that you can't control, at least, she still stays engaged in life because of her love of life and her interest in life. And every time I'm with her, I think, I hope I can do that, because she just is so graceful in the way she ages. It's just wonderful. So that's it.
The person who has inspired me is my father, and he's really inspired me his entire life, but most recently the last 12 years since he was diagnosed with cancer. And he changed his life and became very involved with volunteering for the American Cancer Society and for hospice. And he's just been such an inspiration to me about really remaking himself in the second part of his life and giving of himself. And he's been more busy the last 12 years of his life than when he was working for a paying job. And I've seen such a transformation in my dad, and he really inspires me to continue to give to community and to be a better person. I love my dad, and he's just an amazing guy.
My mother was a great inspiration to me, because she spent the last 25 years of her life as a widow, and she lived till almost 90, and she was so active. She'd always worked her whole life, but after my dad died, she became a volunteer, and up until about a year before she died, she delivered Meals on Wheels to the old people. And again, she was about 89 when she was doing this, and she went to exercise class 5 mornings a week. She had lots of friends, groups that she worked with. She loved her garden, and she inspired me just to not let age be a factor, but to do what you're good at and to help other people. She and my dad had a business, and they worked 6 days a week and raised my brother and I. And, you know, we didn't have a lot of money. You know, they worked very hard. And so after my dad died, they'd sold their business. I mean, she had the time. And then being single, she had a lot of time. And instead of using that as a negative or to feel sorry for herself, she used it as a positive. She got to do what she wanted all the time. And she just had a great time.